Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that changed my life, and it's simple. Wake up early. That's it. You might think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. The moment I decided to stop hitting snooze, stop waiting for my life to click, and start taking control of my mornings, everything began to change. Waking up early sets a powerful tone for the rest of the day because it allows you to take control of your time before the world starts demanding it from you. When you rise before the chaos begins, before emails flood in, before social media scrolls demand attention, before noise fills the streets, you have a sacred window of opportunity. This time is yours and yours alone. It's uninterrupted, peaceful, and quiet. And in that stillness lies your greatest strength. Waking up early is not just a lifestyle adjustment, it's a mindset shift. It says, I value my goals, I respect my time, I believe in discipline. Starting your day early communicates to your brain and spirit that you are serious about winning, that you ain't waiting for success to happen by accident, but rather you are positioning yourself to chase it down with intention and purpose. Think about how most people wake up, late, rushed, and already behind. They're reacting to the day instead of leading it. When you wake up late, you're immediately playing catch up. Your thoughts are scrambled, your tasks are jumbled, and the stress piles up before you've had your first cup of coffee. But waking up early flips that script. It gives you time to breathe, time to think, and time to act. It gives you the mental space to set your intentions for the day instead of letting the day control you. You can journal, pray, meditate, exercise, or plan. You can build your confidence in silence. You can feed your soul before the world tries to drain it. That is the real power of an early morning routine. It gives you back your power. The reason this habit works for so many successful people isn't just about the number of hours in the day, it's about the quality of those hours. Early mornings are some of the most productive and creative periods of the day because the brain is rested and the environment is calm. This clarity enables better decision-making, stronger focus, and more efficient work. It also gives you time to nurture yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit. It's the one time of the day you can prioritize yourself without guilt or interruption. The world will take every ounce of you if you let it, but the early morning is your armor. It allows you to face the day with preparation rather than panic, confidence rather than chaos. When you begin to value those early hours, you'll see a shift, not just in your schedule, but in your self-worth. You begin to believe you are worthy of the life you dream about, and that belief drives action. You no longer drag yourself through the day, you lead it. You become intentional, you become productive, you become focused. Most importantly, you begin to feel the power of showing up for yourself consistently. That's where transformation begins. Not in some massive life change, but in those small daily decisions that say, I'm ready for more. Waking up early is one of those decisions. It's a habit that builds momentum. It's a discipline that compounds. It's a quiet commitment that echoes throughout your entire life. The early morning hours are free from distractions and perfect for focus because they offer a rare space and time when the world is quiet and still. There are no phone calls, no emails, no meetings, no external demands pulling at your attention. It's just you and the opportunity to channel all of your mental energy into what truly matters. In a world that constantly bombards us with noise and urgency, the early morning becomes a sanctuary, a place where you can breathe, think clearly, and work on your priorities without interruption. And it really is. When we consider Eliza, most people don't realize how much their productivity suffers because of constant distractions throughout the day. Notifications, conversations, emergencies, they break your flow. steal your focus, and leave you feeling overwhelmed. But in the early hours, before all of that begins, your brain is free to lock in on a single task, a single thought, or a single goal and give it your full attention. Waking up early also means your brain is working at its most refreshed state. After a good night's sleep, your mind is sharp and uncluttered, unburdened by the mental fatigue that builds throughout the day. This is when creativity thrives, when deep thinking is possible, and when decision-making is strongest. That's why some of the most impactful work you'll ever do can be done before sunrise. You can read something meaningful and actually retain it. You can write or create with clarity. You can plan your day, your week, or even your life without the background noise of the outside world creeping in. The focus you gain in the morning is not just about avoiding noise. It's about finding a mental space that's hard to access once the day fully begins. You're not just avoiding distraction. You're stepping into a zone of concentration that unlocks your best ideas and most intentional work. What makes the early morning hours so powerful is the sense of ownership you feel over your time. When everyone else is asleep and you already up, grinding, reading, learning, praying, or building, it gives you an edge. It builds a quiet confidence that you're ahead. You're not competing with anyone. You're competing with the version of yourself that used to waste time, that used to procrastinate, that used to wait for inspiration instead of creating discipline. The morning gives you this psychological edge that's hard to describe, but once you feel it, you'll never want to lose it. It's not about how much time you have, it's about what you do with the time no one else is using. That's where the focus sharpens. That's where discipline is forged. That's where goals are set and actions begin to form around them. When you treat the early hours as sacred, you develop a relationship with time that most people never experience. You stop rushing and start owning. You stop being pulled in 10 different directions and start moving with purpose. Every small win in the morning builds your momentum. You find that even 30 minutes of focused effort in the morning can equal hours of scattered work later in the day. The world rewards those who learn how to master their attention. And the easiest way to start mastering your attention is to wake up before the distractions can reach you. The quiet hours of the morning are not just peaceful, they are powerful. And that power can become your foundation for every success you build. Most successful people have a consistent morning routine because they understand that success isn't built in one big moment. It's built in the habits and systems you repeat daily. When you look at high performers in any field, business, sports, entertainment, or leadership, you'll notice a pattern. They don't wake up and leave their day to chance. They start with intention. They have a rhythm to their mornings that helps them focus, think clearly, and prepare for the challenges ahead. That's not a coincidence, it's a strategy. Successful people know that how they start their day shapes how they show up in every other part of their lives. A structured morning routine gives you direction, control, and momentum. It removes the uncertainty that makes people waste time and energy. Instead of reacting to the day, they create it with purpose. Having a routine is more than just waking up early. It's about what you do with that time. It might include exercise, reading, writing, planning, meditating, or even sitting in silence with a cup of coffee, reflecting on what matters. These aren't just tasks, they're rituals that align the mind and body for performance. When done consistently, they compound. Small actions done daily become big results over time. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, it comes from what you do consistently. The routine builds discipline, and discipline builds success. The people who win long-term aren't the ones with the most talent. They're the ones who keep showing up every single morning with a plan and a purpose. A strong morning routine also trains your brain to expect excellence. When you repeat something consistently, your mind begins to associate that behavior with your identity. You don't just do successful things, you start to become a successful person. That identity shift is powerful. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop giving in to laziness or doubt. You stop waiting for motivation and start leaning on habits. That's why routines matter. They are the foundation that supports your long-term goals. Without structure, even the most talented people drift. But with a routine, even the most average person can achieve extraordinary things simply by doing the right things over and over again. Another reason successful people commit to morning routines is because they provide stability in an unpredictable world. Life is full of chaos, distractions, and curveballs, but your morning can be your anchor. No matter what happens later in the day, that first hour belongs to you. You start from a place of control. That sense of order carries over into everything else. It makes you better in meetings, sharper in conversation, more focused in your work, and more present with your family. The benefits aren't just professional, they're personal. A good routine supports your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health all at once. It's a system that works for you, even when life gets tough. Successful people understand that routines aren't about being perfect, they're about being prepared. They use their mornings to build themselves before the world tries to break them down. They don't stumble into success, they build it, brick by brick, habit by habit, morning by morning. Starting your day early gives you time for planning, prayer, meditation, or self-care because those early hours are often the only moments in the day when you truly have control. Once the world wakes up, everything begins moving fast. Responsibilities, obligations, people needing your attention, those demands start flooding in and they don't slow down. But when you wake up early, before the noise begins, you give yourself the gift of space. That space allows you to align your mind, body, and spirit before you engage with the rest of the world. Whether it's writing down your goals, reading a devotional, practicing gratitude, going for a walk, or simply sitting in silence, these moments are where your inner power begins to grow. Most people wake up and immediately step into chaos, rushing to get dressed, scrambling to make it out the door, scrolling through their phones looking for distraction. But when you rise early, you create a calm rhythm that sets a peaceful, powerful tone for everything that follows. Planning is one of the most valuable uses of early morning time. Before emails start rolling in or meetings begin stacking up, you can sit with your thoughts and intentionally outline your priorities. You can look at the day ahead and decide what truly matters. You stop living reactively and start operating strategically. Planning doesn't just mean writing a to-do list. It's about visualizing your progress, identifying your main objectives, and preparing mentally to handle whatever comes your way. That kind of mental preparation creates confidence and control. Instead of feeling like the day is running you, you begin to feel like you're leading it. That shift can be the difference between a scattered, stressful day and a productive, purpose-driven one. When you take time to plan in the morning, you reduce the number of decisions you have to make later, which conserves energy and strengthens focus. Alongside planning, prayer, and meditation are practices that center your spirit and quiet the mind. In the silence of the morning, prayer becomes more meaningful, more focused. It's not rushed or distracted, it's personal. It allows you to express gratitude, seek guidance, and reconnect with what matters most. Similarly, meditation gives you space to breathe, to observe your thoughts without judgment, and to find stillness in a world that rarely slows down. These moments of spiritual or mental clarity build resilience. They ground you, strengthen your emotional intelligence, and allow you to move through the day with grace rather than tension. Whether your morning stillness is spent in faith, reflection, or silence, it restores your internal balance and fuels your energy. Self-care in the morning is one of the most overlooked yet powerful habits. Early hours are the perfect time to do something that nurtures your well-being before life's demands begin to chip away at it. This could be stretching, journaling, drinking water, reading something inspirational, or taking a moment to check in with yourself emotionally. When you show up for yourself early in the day, you're sending a message that you matter. And that message isn't just felt, it's lived. It impacts how you treat yourself, how you handle stress, how you talk to others, and how you deal with challenges. Taking care of yourself in the morning builds a reservoir of energy, positivity, and discipline that you can draw from throughout the rest of the day. When you wake up early, you gift yourself the time to align your intentions, check your spirit, fuel your body, and prepare your mind. You put yourself in the driver's seat before anyone else has a chance to steer your direction. These morning rituals may seem small on the surface, but they are powerful habits that shape your daily momentum and reinforce your long-term growth. The quality of your morning often determines the quality of your life, because those quiet minutes, when spent with intention, compound into powerful transformation over time. They become your foundation, your reset, and your launch pad into every challenge and opportunity the day will bring. Discipline and consistency in waking early build mental toughness because they train your mind to overcome comfort and make decisions rooted in long-term vision rather than short-term pleasure. Every time you wake up early, even when you don't feel like it, you're building a quiet kind of strength. It's not loud, and it doesn't look heroic from the outside, but inside, you're laying brick after brick of resilience, of control, of willpower. The alarm goes off and your body says no, but your purpose says yes. That simple battle repeated daily is the foundation of mental toughness. It's not about never feeling tired or lazy. It's about choosing growth over comfort. It's about proving to yourself that you can do hard things and doing them without needing applause or recognition. Mental toughness is earned in the small, unseen decisions, like choosing to rise instead of rolling over, choosing discipline over ease, choosing your goals over your excuses. Waking up early is not just a physical act, it's a mental commitment. You're telling yourself that your purpose is more important than another hour of sleep. You're putting your mission before your mood. That mindset becomes a habit, and that habit becomes character. The more you practice it, the stronger your self-control becomes. You start to notice that you're not as easily distracted. You don't give up as quickly. You don't fold under pressure. That's because you've been training your brain to follow through, to show up, to endure discomfort for the sake of progress. You're not living based on how you feel in the moment. You're living based on what you've decided you want out of life. That's discipline, and it's one of the rarest and most powerful traits a person can develop. Consistency in waking early sharpens your focus and builds momentum. When you start your day with a win, getting up on time, you create a ripple effect. That first victory sets the tone. It tells your subconscious that you're in control, that today will be intentional, that you're not here to drift, but to dominate. Day after day, that consistency becomes a rhythm, and that rhythm becomes your advantage. Most people live in chaos, reacting to whatever comes their way. But when you commit to rising early with discipline, you create a sense of order in your life. That structure supports clarity, confidence, and efficiency. You don't waste time deciding whether or not to get up, whether or not to work on your goals. You've already decided, you just execute. Mental toughness isn't about being emotionless. It's about managing your emotions and staying the course even when your emotions try to derail you. Waking up early teaches you that feelings aren't facts. You may not feel like getting out of bed, but you do it anyway. You may not feel motivated every day, but you show up anyway. That kind of mental discipline bleeds into every other area of your life. You become more patient in adversity, more focused in chaos, more reliable in pressure. You stop breaking promises to yourself. You stop being swayed by mood swings or temporary setbacks. You begin to trust your ability to follow through, and trusting yourself is one of the most empowering things you can have. There's something powerful about doing hard things in silence. No one may see you getting up early. No one may applaud you for skipping the snooze button, but you know the battle you won this morning. You know the voice you silenced, the weakness you overcame. And over time, those silent victories accumulate. They forge a stronger, sharper, more focused version of you. One that doesn't back down. One that doesn't settle. One that shows up for life with grit and intention. That's the kind of person who not only dreams big, but has the discipline and toughness to chase those dreams until they become reality. Morning habits shape your mindset, productivity, and long-term success because they influence the way you think, feel, and act throughout the day. The way you begin your morning is a powerful signal to your brain. It tells your mind how serious you are about your goals, how disciplined you are about your responsibilities, and how determined you are to make progress in your life. When you create intentional morning habits, you build structure into your day. You move from chaos to clarity, from reaction to action, from drifting to driving forward. This structure creates stability, and stability builds confidence. When you know what to expect from your morning, your brain is less stressed, your focus is sharper, and your emotions are more grounded. That clarity gives you the mental space to take on bigger challenges and make better decisions. A strong morning routine trains your brain to expect discipline. When you wake up and do the same powerful actions every day, whether that's exercising, reading, journaling, praying, or goal setting, you reinforce a mental loop that says, I'm in control. That sense of control is essential for mindset because it gives you authority over your day instead of letting the day control you. You're not waking up just to survive another set of tasks. You're waking up with a mission. You start to see yourself as someone who takes ownership of time, someone who respects the value of every minute. That self-image creates mental strength, and mental strength creates momentum. Productivity is also deeply influenced by how you start your morning. When you have a habit of rising early and getting into motion before distractions appear, you automatically gain time others are sleeping through. That's time you can use to prepare, learn, create, and execute. It's uninterrupted time when your energy is high and your focus is at its peak. The brain is fresh in the morning, and that freshness allows you to think clearly, prioritize effectively, and make decisions without the fog that builds later in the day. When you train your mind to work in the early hours, you'll notice your productivity increases not just in quantity, but in quality. You get more meaningful work done, not just busy work. You do what matters, not what's urgent. And that difference compounds over time, turning small habits into massive results. Long-term success is never built on a few lucky breaks. It's built on daily habits, repeated with consistency and intention. Morning habits are the foundation because they happen before the world has a chance to throw distractions at you. Their commitment to consistency, and consistency is the bridge between goals and achievement. When you wake up early and invest in positive habits, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. Each morning becomes a building block, another layer of your foundation, another moment of personal growth. Success isn't just about what you do when everyone's watching. It's about what you do when no one's around, when it's just you and the choice between discipline and distraction. The connection between morning habits and long-term success is not a motivational theory, it's a proven pattern. Look at the lives of high performers and you'll find that they all protect their mornings. They understand that you don't rise to the level of your dreams, you fall to the level of your systems. Your habits become your default, and your default becomes your life. If your mornings are unorganized, your thoughts will be scattered. If your mornings are reactive, your decisions will be emotional. But if your mornings are focused, grounded, and intentional, your life will begin to reflect those qualities as well. Your future success is being written in your present habits. And it all starts with what you choose to do the moment you open your eyes each day. The rituals you build in the morning echo into every part of your day, shaping your attitude, your effort, and your direction.